Hey guys, welcome back to STA Farms. So today we've got an exciting project we're finally going to get time to work on. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a little while now, and we just haven't taken the time to do it. So we used to have a really pretty flower bed here, but over the years it's just kind of gotten grown up. So today we're going to take the time to get it cleaned up and see what we can do to it. So what are you measuring?
I was just seeing the boards that I've got to use for the strawberry tower are 6 feet, and I was just seeing where 6 feet was going to come to.
Oh, okay. So I was just telling them that we were going to see what we could turn this into. Since it used to be a pretty flower bed, it looks a little rough now. But we have plans for it, and as Aaron just mentioned, strawberries. That's one thing that we're wanting to put in here.
Yeah, so I have been wanting a strawberry tower or strawberry bed for a long time. I think we're finally going to do it. Or at least that's the plan.
Yep.
So I'm more along the line of rip everything out and start new, but she's kind of more sentimental and wants to leave all the stuff.
I want to leave my irises and lilies. They're beautiful. And then I've got a pretty lilac shrub in here.
We'll see how it turns out, but hopefully there ain't too much button heads on what to keep and what to get rid of.
All right, so now what do we need to do?
Okay, so I think probably you're wanting to keep the stuff in the back, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we probably need the chainsaw, cut these down, then dig up the rest of this. And what about, you got 2 bushes here?
Yeah. So like I said, I have a real pretty lilac shrub. It needs to be trimmed up. I don't want to cut it down completely, but there is another section right here that has come up on its own that will
you didn't plant that?
No, I didn't plant this side over here. So we'll probably cut this side down. That way it gives my irises and lilies some more space to come up and grow as well.
I think probably what would be best with the strawberry tower is to put it on this end.
Yeah.
Strawberries, they need full sun, and obviously putting it next to a building might not necessarily be ideal, but I think it will work because where the sun comes up right over here. So having it right here on this edge, I think they'll be fine. So I think we'll just do the bed here, the strawberry tower here in the front bed, and then this back bed. Brandy has informed me that these can't be gotten rid of. These lilies and whatever else is in here, that they must be preserved. And apparently the time to preserve is fall. Is that right?
Transplant in the fall.
So anyways, I think I have convinced her to get rid of these.
Yeah, don't pull them up. I can dig them up and see what we can do with them.
Anyways, we're going to do something with these. We'll put our strawberry tower here. Then this fall, when it's proper time to dig all this junk up, or flowers, dig all these flowers up, we'll get them dug up, moved probably somewhere else in the way, and then we'll extend our tower back. And I think we're going to do like a stair-step tower. You'll see that, but this fall we can extend it back here. So I think it's time to go get our tools. So we'll need a chainsaw, stuff to dig with, and then maybe ready for the boards. So I'll go get the chainsaw. If you want to get the stuff to dig these up,
shovel and rake.
We'll get it done.
All right, so I found a shovel, but I couldn't find a rake. So I think first thing I want to do is dig up these lilies. And I don't know if wherever I put them, I don't know if they'll come back up, but hopefully they'll come back up and we'll have some pretty flowers elsewhere. I'm gonna dig these up and see if we can transplant them, even though it's not necessarily time. I know Aaron says I'm just saving junk with these flowers and all, but he's the same way. He'll take and save a bent nail, thinking he'll reuse it sometime. Then he'll put it up. But really, when it comes time to use it, he can't find it. So he just goes and buys more. So I may or may not be that same way. But these flowers were here when we bought the place. And that's going on 18 years. So, yeah, I'd like to keep them. All right, so my plan for trying to save the lilies, not really working. There's too many tree roots in here to dig them up good. So Aaron's just going to go ahead and pull them up. We're going to add more dirt to this to make it deeper for the strawberries anyhow. So
Yeah.
now I guess you can cut down the trees. And
Yeah,
we can,
get those trees cut, and then you can show me how much of that. Well, actually, you're wanting all that one bush cut down, but you can show me
Yeah.
how much of the other bush you want me to cut. So.
yeah, just trim it up. That's good.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yep.
So now it should be easy cleanup since we got that cut down.
Yeah, since you don't want to get rid of anything else.
That already looks 100% better, but we still got more work to do.
So that looks a whole lot better, don't it?
It does.
So what do you think? Like, what's your plan? I know you're going to leave all this stuff in the back bed.
Yeah.
But what's your plan for, like, here down for this bed?
So I've got some wildflower seeds, some butterfly and hummingbird flowers that I was thinking about planting there. I don't know if we'll get them planted today. It's supposed to turn off code the next couple of days. So I may wait until next weekend to get that planted, but we can get it ready.
Probably just need to basically get the bed ready and then plant them later. Like, maybe even plant them whenever we plant the potatoes or the other garden.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
later on when there's less chance of a frost.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something else we could do. I think our tiller would fit in this.
Yeah, but
So-
what about the tree roots?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. So, but yeah, I think we'll just get it kind of chopped up and everything, and then we'll build the strawberry bed. And then when it warms up, not warms up, but when we don't have much of a chance of it freezing at night, probably then plant those wildflower seeds.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably our best plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. Now we might be able to take the tiller on this end,
Yeah.
just not all the way up there. It's getting warm, ain't it?
Yeah.
I know. All right, so we may end up having to get the tiller out on this after all. Down here, we didn't really have big trees, so I think it'll be okay as far as the root system. But we'll get this tilled up before we plant the wildflowers and add some more topsoil to it. And for the most part, we pretty well have it. So now we need to work on our strawberry bed, and Aaron's gonna go get the supplies for that and get it built.
Okay, so I just been getting some measurements. We're gonna do, my boards are 6 feet long. We're gonna do 6 feet long, but I'm trying to get a width measurement. And I think what I'm gonna do 3 feet. Okay, so as you see, we've got some of our boards out here. I've got some others cut. It's gonna do like this. And I've created my corner braces. It's gonna do something like that. And we're gonna build basically a box. And then after we get that box, I'll bring you back and I'll show you the next step on top of that. Okay, I am super excited about this. Now, we should be able to get about 10 plants in here. And the plan is this fall, whenever we can move these other flowers at the correct time, is to add another one, and it probably be what we consider a stair step, so it'll be taller than this, just so it helps get its sun and everything. But that'll be a fall project. Next step is we're going to go and we're going to get some mulch, and we're going to put a layer of mulch here just to help it drain. On top of that mulch, we're going to put topsoil or potting soil, whatever we end up getting, and then that'll be what we actually plant the strawberries in. And I believe Brandy, I'll let her talk about that. I believe she's actually ordered the strawberries, so she can talk about what we're doing with that.
Do you remember what?
Ozark Beauty.
Yep. So we wanted more of a heritage breed, an older breed, a type of strawberries, and we decided to go with Ozark Beauties. So we got on, actually on Walmart, they had it comes from a third-party seller, but I've got those ordered and they're supposed to be in the next few days. So hopefully, you know, next weekend we can get the mulch put down, get the garden soil and topsoil put down, and get our roots planted. And then we may even pick up a couple of hanging baskets.
That's what I was going to ask you, if would we get any strawberries from the bare roots?
No, we won't get any strawberries from the bare roots because it takes them at least a year to establish themselves. But like I said, if we get some hanging baskets, then they'll already be established and we may get a little bit of fruit off of those. And then this fall we can transplant those plants into the ground.
Yeah.
And they'll have all winter to reestablish themselves into our soil.
So, you know, we were open to getting plants this year, but we didn't realize how expensive the strawberries were. But also, like we talked about on our previous video with our garden seed, we wanted an old heirloom. I don't know if they're heirloom, but we wanted an older variety strawberry, nothing new. Because we've mentioned it before in our videos, it just seems like the seeds and the plants and stuff you get now, they just don't have the flavor that they used to. And the Ozark Beauty, they're ones that have been grown for generations and generations in raised beds and everything. And they're smaller berries, but they're more flavorful. And I think when you buy strawberries at the store, we actually bought some at Sam's a couple weeks ago.
They were huge.
They didn't have any flavor at all.
Right.
No flavor whatsoever. And we don't want that. We'd rather have the small berries. I remember Mama making strawberries, and they were so sweet. They come from their garden, their raised strawberry bed. They were so sweet. It didn't need any sugar on them. And I was a kid. You know how you are as a kid. You love sugar. But they were so sweet, they didn't need any sugar. But the ones you get today, at least the ones we got or have been getting, you basically, if you put sugar on them, that's what you taste. So.
All right, guys. So it's been a few days. Our strawberry slips have been delivered. We've got our mulch and our planting soil. So now we're going to get the slips in the garden and get that finished, the garden bed finished.
Okay, so we ended up deciding to go with a T-post instead of a board. We just thought it'd be better than to have than to have a board kind of braced up and might or might not rot and stuff like that. So we went with this T-post. And the idea is our bird netting we're going to get, basically this just holds it up in the center, and then it kind of will come over like that to cover the plants, just so the chickens just so the chickens hopefully don't jump up here still and try to eat our strawberries. So, yeah. All right, so we got this in. Now The next step is to getting, I guess, our bed filled up with everything.
All right, so what we've elected to do, because this is a deeper bed and we want to make sure there's plenty of drainage and everything, we've got a couple of bags of mulch that we're going to lay down on the bottom, and then I've got some garden soil that we're going to put on top of the mulch and then plant our strawberry slips in that.
You know what?
What?
That mulch just don't look like it's going to be enough.
I know. There's one bag. Help me out. All right.
I got it easily. I like to play with
You think
toys.
that's enough, or should we get more mulch?
More mulch.
I think it would probably be best if we got a couple more bags of mulch and have it at least halfway full.
Okay.
But I tell you something else too. If it's like that, then the soil, we need another bag of soil too, because we don't have enough soil.
Well, we do have a couple of bags of soil left over from last year, and I have a half a bag left over from where we planted our seed starts, the Miracle Grow soil.
Yeah.
If we need to use it, we can.
Okay.
That one. Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think probably what would be best for us to do right now is probably go get us a couple more bags of mulch, and then, unless we got some old mulch around, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish we did.
So, this is a prime example of why you should always order extra, because obviously our figures were wrong. So we're gonna go to the store, get 2 of the cheapest bags of mulch we can find,
Poppy,
and
can I get some bubble gum?
maybe, and then we'll be back.
All right, guys, so we ran to town, went to Walmart and got some more mulch, some more soil. Now we're gonna get the mulch and the soil put in the bed so we can get it finished up, because it's kind of clouding over and I'm not sure if it's gonna rain on us or not, but we want to get this done if it does.
Okay, good job.
It did.
Yep.
Now the repile.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You're cutting that still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this looks a lot better.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
filled it up. I like the level.
Yeah, so we've got at least 3 bags of soil we're gonna put in here and then get the slips planted. All right, so this bag right here is left over from last year, and I've got a piece of another one inside the building left over from last year, so we're just gonna put it down first to more or less as a filler.
Yeah, guys, so this is set outside in the weather for a year, and when you let topsoil or garden soil or anything like that set outside and it gets constantly rained on and things, it loses all nutritional value. So this is just, we're just using this as filler.
No.
Okay,
I wonder if we should just pull them roots out.
that's what I'm
I don't know what that
thinking.
is.
I don't either.
Get those, yeah, just pull those roots out. Yeah, so I don't know what those roots are that grew up in that, but we sure don't want those in our bed. So I guess it's some weed that got into our soil or something.
All right.
In it.
I don't know. Can I see the scissors?
Yeah. I'm not filming.
All right, so there's the 2 old bags of soil that we had. We're gonna save this garden soil bag right here, this pink one for the top layer, and we're going to get another bag out of the trunk of the car.
There's a seed in it.
No, it's fertilized. Here, let me.
Nanny,
Where's the scissors?
Nanny, can I help do it?
In just a minute.
I'll blow my bubble.
Oops.
Told him not to spill it, and you spilling it.
I did spill some of it. All right, so there's that. So this right here is actually raised garden soil. It's got worm castings and fertilized in it. And what I'm going to do is when I get it spread out, I'm going to mix it in with all this other soil.
Knocked me out, Nanny.
I knocked you out?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, Granny does me when I get her
Oh,
yeah,
oops. Nanny spilled a little bit too. Again. This is good and moist. So I'm kind of digging down in here and mixing it up. All right, so this has our garden bed filled up, and now it's time to get our plants and get them in the ground. All right, so right here are our bare root slips. So this part down here is the root, and this right here is the slip where the plant will actually grow out of.
It's called the crown, is that what it's called?
I think it's the crown, yes. So these are Ozark Beauties. These, we wanted to get plants, regular strawberry plants to plant in the bed, but we just couldn't find any that we really, really liked. And we wanted something more of an heirloom type of strawberry. Ozark Beauties are a pretty hardy heritage type of plant. So we decided to go with these. So let's get them in the dirt. All right, now there's a certain way we got to do this, okay? We got to make sure the roots are kind of spread out and they go in the ground, but you can't do them too deep or too shallow, okay? So we're going to spread the roots out, and you got to cover all the roots up, but you don't want to cover the crown up. I need another one for over here. Can you get me another one for over here?
For that one?
Ooh, yeah. Thank you.
I didn't stick my hand in that dirty water.
Is it dirty water?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. It's just dirt off of the strawberry plants. All right. So that has our slips planted in the bed. Now, while we were at Walmart, because we most likely are not going to get any berries off of these this year. It takes about a year for the roots to establish themselves and then start producing fruit. We went ahead and picked up a couple of baskets that's already bloomed out. So hopefully we can get some berries off of it. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you see, we have the netting on here. I doubt that shows up on camera very well, but it's just bird netting you can buy at any hardware store or garden center. But since we're taking the hanging baskets and going to put it on our front porch, really and truly, unless something odd happens, there won't be any reason for us to move this year. So we can water right through here. If it rains, it can soak in. If not, we can water with the water hose or whatever, and not even have to move that. I'm super excited about this bed. I think, Brandy, you are too, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, okay, guys, if you're still here with us in this video, we really appreciate it. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to have more garden content, more homesteading content. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next one.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh, one way.
What do you think? Is that high enough?
No.
So.
I think so too.